And this next question comes in from Mark Fain from the Facebook group in regards to Amazon Echo devices. There's a murder case, and we've seen this happen from time to time, where the prosecutors and the police believe that the Echo device that they had in the house at the time of the murder heard the entire thing take place and recorded it, and they want the recordings from Amazon, and a judge has ordered Amazon to turn it over. Mark here is wondering, is this just more misinformation versus what is actually happening inside of these devices? And we had a bit of a discussion about this on the Facebook group. And the reality, of course, is that these devices, to the best of anyone's knowledge, are not recording until the trigger word is uttered. After that, it does in fact record for a short time until it hears the command, and then it stores the recording on Amazon's servers. So I suspect here is that Amazon will comply with the request, and it likely won't have anything unless somebody shouted out, hey, you know what, I'm being murdered, here's who's doing it. If that happened, then certainly that recording would be up on the Amazon cloud, but more than likely it doesn't have anything. I think by now, if these devices were listening to us and transmitting the ambient voices, as they said in the article, to the mothership, we would hear about security researchers discovering that data being transmitted, either from our phones or from these Echo devices. I don't think they have to do that at all to gain some ideas as to what we want as consumers. In fact, your behavior online and what you search for is far more valuable and a far greater insight into who you are versus what you might say to other people. Because what you do on your computer, whether it's search or clicking on different websites or whatever, is what you're thinking. And that is far more valuable to marketers, what you're thinking versus what you say. And by extension, it's actually a lot easier to collect what you're thinking versus what you say because it requires a lot less data to get. And I always hear from friends who are not always the most tech savvy, who are convinced these devices are listening to them, and they'll see ads suddenly pop up in regards to something that they were saying to somebody else. I don't think it's happening. I think it's far more efficient to get what's in your head out than it is to listen to stuff, send audio back to some other place and have it search for that. I could be wrong. Some people on YouTube claim it happens, but I don't see it. I think your thoughts are, again, far more valuable and far more easy to collect. Now, Amazon, though, does issue a transparency report twice a year about the number of subpoenas and search warrants that they've received across all of their products. And I believe this list includes Amazon S3 as well. So you can see here they have received about 1,700 subpoenas, which are probably things that might involve criminal or civil cases. They either give a partial response or no response to a majority of them, but they have provided a full response in many cases to folks. They've responded to a majority of search warrants, it appears, probably because there's certainly more, more that they have to respond to on those, given that they are court orders. They have not responded 79 times, but as you can see here, they have certainly been compliant a majority of the time. And unfortunately, they don't break this out by what all this is. So these could be primarily Alexa recordings, or they could be something totally different. We don't know because they don't disclose exactly what these orders were for. They also have some other court orders, which can be just about anything. They also give you a range of national security requests because they're not allowed to tell you how many they get. So we don't know what they did with those to a large degree. But check it out if you're interested. You can see what Amazon has been turning over. They don't get a lot of these requests from one year to the next, but I'm sure in any instance where there's a crime committed and there's one of these things sitting in the room, they're probably going to want to look at it. I think, though, it's kind of crazy when you think about how far we've come, or not, as a society. If you had told anybody 20 years ago that you're going to have this device in your house that's always listening and is there to provide you with whatever you ask it for, I think people would have thought you were crazy. Like, who would want to put that in their house? But people do. And I got a Google one upstairs, and I got my phone listening all the time, too. And I guess we're all cool with it. But it's just kind of funny how we as consumers have eroded our privacy as much as these companies have been doing, because we're willingly handing over all this information to Google, Facebook, and Amazon and everybody else, and everybody's cool with it because it provides convenience, I guess. But we have to think about our own behavior, too.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters Chris Allegretta, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, Gerard Newberg, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.